Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the latest episode of the Goat Shed Sports Podcast. As always, I'm Nick Connect, and alongside me is the splendid Jacob Bowles. Jacob, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you today, Nick?
Oh, I'm doing just great. Now, Jacob, are you ready to get into the NFL draft?
I'm very ready. It's been very exciting so far. So as of today, the draft is concluded, right?
Yep.
It's over. Yeah. So we're doing this Saturday night. So the entire draft happens. We saw everything going on, and there's been some big names and some big moves going on so far.
I know, and it gives us that itch of sports that we've been, so desperately needing.
Oh. Whoa, Nick! The WNBA draft was last week.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Oregon.
Sabrina Ionescu, dude.
She's goated.
She's nice. She's very nice.
Dude, so from that first pick of the draft, I don't know if you saw it coming. Joe Burrows to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Out of left field, dude.
Oh, I know.
Who is this guy?
Just a kid from Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, just a kid, dude. Wow, I mean, obviously we saw this coming, like it was gonna happen no matter what. But I mean, props to Joe Burrow. I'm very excited for him. I mean, he definitely deserves to go number one.
Yeah,
definitely
sure.
the best player in the draft. Well, okay, at his position.
There you go. Chase Young's
okay.
Best player in the draft.
Yeah, yes, at his position, best player in the draft. I mean, what the Bengals needed, obviously.
Wait, the Red Rocket can't hang no more?
Yeah, I mean, it's
God. The
just
Bengals
hasn't
suck.
worked.
The Bengals suck.
The Bengals just definitely need. I mean, they definitely need him to be the face of their franchise, which he's going to be. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
100%. Him and AJ Green are going to be very nice together.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
I mean, I don't. That's obviously not enough to build a playoff contending team around, but
yeah, but it's stepping stones.
Yeah, but, it's definitely the right direction.
I'm excited. If the Bengals can even be halfway decent this year, I really think that division is going to be the hardest division in football. Because I solemnly believe that the Browns was a fluke season mainly because of coaching. I think with Freddie Kitchens out of there, everything's going to be a little different. I think it was a sophomore slump for Baker. I think the Browns are going to be very good next year. I think the Ravens are going to be very good next year. And for some reason, the Steelers never suck. So
yeah, especially when you have Ben back, who, I mean, coming off an injury, you never know.
Caveman?
But I mean,
oh my! Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
No, have you seen just like his beard? Like he just.
Oh yeah, he looks like a hobo, dude.
Big,
like Sasquatch. He's got a big beard right now. But yeah, like for sure. And then even if Cincinnati just wins a couple of those games, like they definitely make it interesting.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be.
I really just want to see Joe Burrow on the next level. And I mean, I know it's a big transition into the NFL, but I think he's definitely ready for it.
Does he break the Heisman curse?
We'll find out. Only time to tell. Hey, I think he definitely has the
potential,
the stuff to do it.
The potential.
Oh yeah. So then going into the number 2 overall pick from the Ohio State, Chase Young.
Oh man.
I mean, yes, like you said, best player in the draft,
100%,
hands down.
Man, the Redskins got so many Buckeyes at their disposal, man.
Dwayne Haskins, him,
Terry.
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin. Oh.
I mean, if the Redskins can kind of put another good team around them, kind of like how we talked about the Bengals. I mean,
if Chase Young can even just,
if he can do a glimpse of what he did in college.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. I think you've seen his pass rushing in college. You've seen his fumbles and the way he affected like every offense that went against him. And later on in the season, everyone was like, Chase Young stopped getting sacks all the time, and everyone was going crazy about him, like he's falling off. And then you go back and you watch those games, and he's getting triple teamed, and the rest of his line is getting sacks. So if he's not getting the sacks, he's the reason the sacks are happening. Because
100%. Like you look out for this guy, you put his. Yeah, I mean, it opens up everything for the rest of your team, and that's as much of a sack right there as it is like anything. I mean, for a defensive edge to get a Heisman to be a Heisman candidate. That's
sorry, Joe.
I mean, it's great of a season Joe had. Just you can't take that away from a defensive player. I mean, it's just defensive players don't win that award anymore, and it's kind of sad to see because if anyone could have done it, it should have been him this season.
For sure. I mean, we're from Columbus area, OSU fans. We've been so spoiled with pass rushers. We went from Joey Bosa to Nick Bosa to Chase Young, like fun.
It's been a great 3 years.
And then we go from the great defensive backs. We go from like Marshawn Lattimore, and then we get Denzel Ward, and then we get Jeff Okudah, and he's our next
DBU.
up. He's the next up on this pick, the Detroit Lions. What a pick!
Speaking of
Buckeyes, the third pick in the draft, the Detroit Lions. What a pick!
Jeff Okudah, bro. I mean, what's there to say? Like, obviously, it shows who should have won best back in the country right here. I mean, you don't go third overall as a back for no reason. Exactly. I mean, he was absolutely deserved of third overall. And, I mean, just everything he does on the field, just crazy, crazy player right there.
Shutdown. He's just a lockdown corner. I mean, I don't think he was scored on once this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's 100% true.
I'd believe it if it was true.
I don't think he was scored on once, though, this season. And one-on-one coverage.
I mean, you throw it to him, it's barely getting through most of the time, unless just, stuff happens. But he's... I mean, Detroit... kind of just...
Well,
always been...
Detroit doesn't suck. Man, Ninja sees our podcast, he's going to kill us.
Yeah, dude. First winless team, just...
Hey, but at least they got some cool-looking uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, Lions, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, right? They traded Darius Slay away, and then they basically drafted another Darius Slay. That's the beautiful thing about football. I feel like you always see big names getting moved and traded because it's just, I feel like it's so easy to replicate. Like, Darius Slay wanted money, they got rid of him and drafted someone who has the potential just to be as good.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I mean, Matt Stafford, he gets stats. Like, he does what I guess he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. He's going to be the Lions franchise quarterback for probably his whole career. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see them do something. And I don't know. I mean, they're in a tough division as well. So it's going to be weird because, I mean, Packers, Vikings, they both did... Well, okay, Packers, we'll get into that because that's something right there. But the Vikings drafted really well this year, so they're probably – them and the Packers are definitely going to be top two in that division. And we'll see if Detroit, with this addition and possibly more in the future, trying to be back on the rise, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's what the draft's all about. Getting that potential for the future.
Got to draft the best players available, and he was – Buckeyes top three. Well, kind of.
Count Joe Burrows. I love it.
He was there.
Going into this next pick, a team that has always struggled with the offensive line. The New York Giants take Andrew Thomas, the offensive lineman from Georgia. I mean,
Daniel Jones got some good protection right there, but it's Daniel Jones, so I mean,
hopefully this guy can open up pockets for Saquon.
It's gonna be a big running kind of desperation this year. I think the Giants.
They built that lineup to try to get as much pass protection as they can get. Holes. It's just building up with a young team.
It's gonna be like the Titans, dude, where you just throw the ball 8 times a game and run it the last 40 and win the game because you just have a dominant running back.
And then give Daniel Jones a $130 million contract for being average.
Yeah, I mean, did Eli retired, right?
Yeah, Eli retired.
Yeah, I thought so. I remember seeing that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely what they needed in the draft, and it's definitely what they got in this guy. So, they definitely got the best thing they could have.
Yeah, I mean, what you find a lot in the draft, and especially in the first round, that there's a lot of offensive linemen being taken because as boring as it is, like I don't want to talk down on the linemen, but I mean, they're not skill positions. They don't generate the excitement. It's the most essential part of a team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you have one player who's not up to par with your team, you're getting pressured, you're getting sacked, and that just throws off your whole game. So they're definitely very important to every single team. So that's why there's so many going the first round. And just looking here, there's at least, I want to say, 10 in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good to see. You love to see that.
You do love to see that. Big men need the love.
They do love the big men. So, I guess going on to a skill position player next.
Ooh.
For Miami, Tua from Alabama. Just
didn't even attempt the last name. I love it.
I'll leave it at that. You can try it if you want, but everybody knows him as Tua. You know who he is.
Tagovailoa, yeah. I mean,
yep, something like that.
It was the pick that everyone saw coming, and if Dolphin fans didn't get it, I think they probably would have burned a bus.
But Tagovailoa. I think that was it.
Hey. Tua.
Hate to cut you off, but I was practicing in my head, and I had to get it out there.
No, it's good, but I mean, I really like this pick for the Dolphins. I really think Tua is the best quarterback in this draft. Again, I'm not hating Joe. I love Joe. Go Bucks. But
maybe as of right now.
Yeah, I think I can see Tua just becoming an absolute force.
I can see him like a Cam Newton.
Yeah, the way this league is moving in towards that mobile quarterback and that agile quarterback. I mean, if he can stay healthy, I can see this guy.
Yeah, it's
Russell
very
Wilson caliber player.
It's very unfortunate to see him coming off that kind of pretty serious injury, but I think he's definitely ready, and he's definitely one of the most ready right now quarterbacks. I mean, like you said, with the mobility and the quarterback skills that he still possesses, like that's definitely what a lot of teams are kind of pushing towards in this modern NFL. So, I mean, it's just how the system goes. It's like how today in NBA, all you do is shoot threes. And speaking of NBA, Nick, would you like to say something to the audience?
Oh gosh,
LeBron.
Oh, LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. Jesus Christ, people, get over it. All right, I get it. The Last Dance is out. We all want to, talk about Jordan, but LeBron poops on Jordan. End of discussion. Back to the draft.
All right, so then you want to talk about number 6 then?
Number 6, the Chargers, who, didn't sign back Phillip Rivers, draft Justin Herbert, who I think is obviously a very good quarterback. I mean, Oregon was this close to making the playoffs, and then they lost to Arizona State. That was kind of embarrassing. Yeah. But, I mean, right now the Chargers are sitting at a QB depth chart of Justin Herbert and Tyrod Taylor. And I mean, do you want Tyrod Taylor running your team maybe for the first 3 or 4 games, just like the Browns did 2 years ago? Well, last Baker's rookie year, Tyrod ran the team for a couple 6-7 games, and then Baker comes in, throws an absurd amount of touchdowns, comes into a sophomore season, disappoints, but that's subject for later picks. But yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert, he's a great player, and I definitely think he is what they need after their very long run with Phillip Rivers. They finally have a new, nice, young, exciting quarterback in that LA system.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a great fit for them. I mean, I think he was definitely one of the other better quarterbacks in this draft. So
I mean, if Joe Burrow doesn't have the miracle season, I mean, he was projected to be the best in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely saw Justin Herbert was probably one of the most talked about quarterbacks coming into this last college season, but he was the most he's fallen to the 3rd drafted quarterback, still all in the top 6. I mean, he's going to be a great fit for LA, and he's going to probably be maybe a franchise quarterback for them. We have to see how he kind of develops, but I can definitely see him in that position.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And Chargers, I mean, their divisions, you got the Chiefs, who are still going to be the Chiefs. That's
Patty Mahomes is Patty Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes is a man among boys. Just amazing. Broncos maybe will
Oh, the Broncos have had such.
They did draft really good.
And then there's the offseason as well. I mean, we're gonna get into the Broncos because they got such a steal with their first pick. I mean, signing Melvin Gordon, signing or trading for Jarrell Casey. They've had. I don't know if they signed moves. They've made great moves to compete against.
Drew Lock, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, he had really good end of the season last year, so hopefully that's something he can play on. And if he can be a halfway decent quarterback with the offensive threats they now have on that team, and with the defense that the Broncos have always have and will always have.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they did lose Chris Harris Jr., but they got AJ Bouye as well. Like,
you have Von Miller, bro. I mean, that's just right there.
Von's always there. I mean, they did lose, like I said, Chris Harris Jr. to the Chargers, but they got AJ Bouye. I mean, they got a great team.
I think, yeah, they'll definitely. I mean, they won't do as good as the Chiefs, but they'll compete for a wild card.
Chiefs be chiefing, man.
Chiefs just be chiefing, bro. So then, number 7, defensive tackle Derek Brown from Auburn for Carolina.
He was a beast, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, SEC competition. Mm-hmm. Auburn right there. Just I mean, if you do your thing against like the SEC competition, it's gonna transition well into the NFL. So,
dude, this guy's 6'5" and like 330 pounds.
What a dude!
What a unit!
What an absolute unit of a dude! But hey,
he's such a good. He's just like he's.
And be that mobile.
Stuffer. He's pretty mobile. He's pretty fast. He's a great run stopper. And you put that on a Carolina team that has struggled on the defensive side. It's kind of been a Christian McCaffrey show.
Oh yeah. So I mean, if you can give Christian McCaffrey the, I guess, opportunity to outscore more. Yeah. And give him more of a rest, let him do his thing, take his time, do his thing. They'll be better. And I mean, the quarterback situation's kind of questionable right now. We don't know what's
they don't
happening.
I mean,
they lost Cam Newton.
They got rid of Cam Newton. The Allen guy's gone, so it's like
it's a Will Grier, bro.
I mean, they do have Will Grier. Yeah, is it Will Grier? I mean, I don't think. They didn't obviously draft a quarterback because why would you have two young quarterbacks on your team? So the real question is, are they going to hand the keys over to Will Grier?
Oh, dude, doesn't he play? No. They just got Teddy Bridgewater, didn't they?
Oh my God, we're idiots. Yeah, no, they have Teddy. Jesus. Oh God.
Never mind. I feel like
I'm standing up. We're tired, guys. We're recording this at midnight. Oh my gosh, yeah, they.
How did I forget Teddy, bro?
We had a podcast where we talked about how great his story was. Oh boy, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. The quarterback situation's looking nice.
Yeah, forget what we said. Teddy Teddy Bridgewater, Christian McCaffrey. You're picking up your defense now. That's a recipe.
Let's just act like that didn't happen. Let's move on to the Arizona Cardinals pick. They got Isaiah Simmons, left back, Clemson. What a beast, bro. I mean. He's just a hybrid type player. I mean, he kind of reminds me in some ways of a Tyrann Mathieu type player because Tyrann Mathieu is a safety, but I mean, he can play outside linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Clemson, you saw what the things he did out there, especially against Ohio State. And
stop it.
Yeah, I know. We don't talk about that game here.
So sad.
Against Ohio State and then eventually against LSU. I mean, Clemson played a game for a while there, but I mean, they just weren't going to beat that LSU team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean,
he's the miracle season, man. No one was talking Joe.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was a part of the reason they were still in the game, but he'll be good for Carolina. Arizona, and Arizona's putting up a good team right now.
Yeah, I mean, their team is looking nice. I mean, they got Kyler Murray being able to throw it to D-Hop. And now they're adding their defensive weapons. It's exciting young team out there. And I love Kyler Murray. I've said that in our last NFL pod. I'm very high on Kyler. He is just a great quarterback. He did nice for me in fantasy. So now I love him.
He's short, but he's fast, and he's still got the quarterback skills of someone who's like 6'4". Like,
and he hits home runs.
Yeah, I have a big respect for Kyler Murray, and I think I hope Arizona is better than how they've been. I mean, they definitely have this. On paper, they're a way better team than they have performed. So
yeah, the young team. That's just you get over the kinks.
Big young team.
The young team. Moving on to the 9th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars take C.J. Henderson, the cornerback from Florida. What do you think of this pick, Jacob?
I mean, I'm a Colts fan, so Jaguars are in our division.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think he's a very good guy. I was a little sad to see him go to the Jaguars because, I mean, I hate to see the Jaguars get any better.
Yeah, but the Jaguars needed it, though, because they kind of, in the last year, have lost Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Bouye.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the position they were looking for. That's the position they got. And he was, I want to say, probably one of the best. I mean, I probably would have taken
he ain't no Jeff.
Arnett or
Damon fell, man, but we're going to talk about that. So we're going to go through these first 10 picks, just so you guys know, and then we're going to kind of bounce around and talk about our, some big names and just kind of talk about our favorite picks and stuff, so I will be sure to get to that. But yeah, he's a good cornerback for a team that needs a cornerback, but they're the Jaguars. They suck. Sorry.
They're not going to.
I said it. You guys made a conference final game once, and then you just went downhill.
Back to where you are. I mean, yeah, Jacksonville's just been just Jacksonville. So, I mean, good pick for them, but we'll see if that really boosts them enough to make anything out of them. So, next off for Nick's Cleveland Browns, offensive tackle, Jedrick Wills.
I said before this draft, if they need to take a lineman in the first round and a safety in the second round, and they did that. Oh man, I am pumped. I mean, an Alabama lineman, bring him to me. Bring him to me and put him on my offensive line. They're talking about moving this guy. They're going to put him out on the left side of the left tackle. So you have him at the left tackle, Jack Conklin at the right. This line is coming together, and if they can just be halfway decent so Baker has a little more time to throw the football and Nick Chubb can get I'm excited. They needed this bad. You saw their line last year. Dude, I swear, if you ever watched a Browns game last year, it was like, oh, Baker. Oh, Baker's in pressure. Baker has to throw a stupid pass, interception, or it's a holding. God, the line. I could ramble for days.
There's a lot of things wrong with the Browns in the last couple years, but they're definitely fixed a lot of things as well.
Baker Mayfield, Super Bowl
Odell,
MVP,
Nick Chubb.
This year, no, maybe, no. I'm gonna go back on that statement. We said that last year. I just want to make the playoffs, God darn it.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yeah, for sure. So then I want to skip to number 12.
Oh my God, that's what I was going to say for my first point, so I'm glad you're bringing this up. Cool.
Yeah.
What?
The first wide receiver out of Alabama, Henry Ruggs.
The Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, we could be very wrong, and we're not obviously NFL scouts, so they can see something in this guy, and he could be Las Vegas' new hero. But before CD and Judy, what?
I mean, John Gruden's just not. I don't think he's.
Dare I say a bad word? Dare I say a bad word? John Gruden is a head ass.
He just should not be coaching a team right now. I mean, for him to get rid of Khalil Mack the first year he comes back, just not lead his team to very much. And I mean, hey, if this pick works out and we're totally wrong, good for them.
Marcus Mariota and Henry Ruggs III become the greatest duo in sports history. You can come back to this moment and you can call us idiots.
We'll be. You guys, yep.
But, I mean,
we'll see about that.
I guess the next pick we'll talk about is at 15. The Denver Broncos getting Jerry Jeudy. The fact that Jeudy fell obviously 15 is like, wow, you got drafted 15. But the fact that Jeudy made it out of, the top 5 or even the top 10, and then to go to 15, oh my God, think about it. The Broncos have such a great young core. They got Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, the Broncos.
And that defense,
the Broncos could be something here. They almost went the playoffs last year, low key. They got close.
Scrap last year.
I know. I'm just like, what Jerry Jeudy is just a beast. I mean, you saw it all year at Bama. He was better than Henry Ruggs, but I don't know. I guess you know what? Hey, the NFL scouts, we're gonna let time.
They get paid to do that, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right, and we're just here to be internet trolls.
So yeah, I'll just highlight a couple names later. AJ Terrell to Atlanta, CeeDee Lamb to Dallas. That's a good pick right there.
CeeDee Lamb now in that high caliber offensive. Dak Prescott running around like an absolute idiot and being overrated. So,
plus, it opens room to have another threat like that for Ezekiel Elliott to possibly.
I mean, you look at that team. As overrated as Dak is, he's a decent quarterback.
He's a decent quarterback.
He puts the stats up. He
doesn't deserve to get paid what he wants to get paid, but
yeah. Now he's got Amari Cooper. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He's got Zeke.
I mean, they've got a better O-line. They've got a good one.
Yeah, they gotta always have a good O-line.
Yeah. So, I mean, that offense is going to be good. It's just you have to see what the defense does as well. And, I mean, it's always the Cowboys. They always just suck anymore. So, I don't know. Hate to say it, but
they almost made the playoffs this year.
Dude, they went 7-9, didn't they?
Losing record because of their division.
No, they went 8-8, but almost made it.
Man, I guess we just stomped on the Las Vegas Raiders, right, for their pick. But I'm going to applaud them for this pick at 19. Damon Arnett. I mean, I'm a Buckeye fan, I know, but man, I watched this guy for 4 years.
We know how good this guy is.
He has never been scored on once in 4 years, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean,
such a sleeper.
It's kind of crazy how he was outshined by his own teammate.
I mean, every year. I mean, you had Denzel, then you have Jeff, but it's like he was always that second. Like, it wasn't like, oh, all you have to do is worry about Jeff or Denzel. You had to worry about Damon Arnett too. He just never had that shine because of these bigger names. And now to be picked in the top 20, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear much about this guy because he doesn't get scored on a lot, like you said. Like, there's no reason to really bring him up when he's just locked down.
Exactly.
But yeah, 19 overall, that's huge for him. And
good luck.
I mean, it shows DBU, bro.
DBU, that's Ohio State, baby. Nowhere else in the world.
You don't see this much talent on one.
I mean,
team.
Dude, should I start saying names, Jacob? Oh, Malik Hooker, Marshawn Lattimore.
Malik Hooker on my Colts.
Oh, should we go with the Denzel Ward? Jeff? I mean, should we throw it back to Malcolm Jenkins? Like, my God, Jacob, we make the secondary happen.
Yeah, we're known for it. We should be known for it.
DBU.
So another big wide receiver name, number 22, Justin Jefferson to Minnesota.
I like that. I like that one a lot.
I think he was a really good player. I mean, you have Joe Burrow to throw him to, but he made a lot of catches that shouldn't have been catches too. He's a great player. I mean, I hope he does. And Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. I mean, he's good. Minnesota,
they just lost Stephon, so this is the new predecessor.
They beat the Saints again.
This is the new predecessor to Stephon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man, I guess we're gonna get into our first ever. Well, not the first, but like the 26th. The Packers take a quarterback.
Jordan Love. I saw the Colts were on Jordan Love's radar when I was looking at stuff like before the draft happened. So I looked at him and he seems decent, but
I know, but you have Rodgers. He's not done yet. He needs weapons.
The Packers
man. So I will admit I became a Browns fan when we drafted Baker. I was never really a big NFL fan. I was just an Aaron Rodgers fan. I didn't watch a lot of NFL, but then I got into it in the last couple of years. So, but Rodgers, his management has always sucked, and he is way too good.
His team is always wasted.
He is way too good to have one ring. Like, Mike McCarthy wasted Aaron Rodgers in his prime, who, I'm sorry, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, but Aaron Rodgers damn well might be the most talented quarterback of all time. And that man got one ring because of his management and because of the ownership of that team.
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning better talent-wise than Tom Brady, but
Tom Brady's the GOAT, and that's what you can't argue with. Sure, guys, you can say Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, but LeBron would put him in a blender. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, it's just hard to argue against 6 rings, but I just don't think Tom Brady's is. I mean, if you put a Peyton Manning, anyone else on that team, they win with so much more, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but what was this pick? Like, that's just
but going back to the pick for sure,
such a slap in the face, man. Like
he's still as talented as can be. I mean, he's definitely not as good as Aaron Rodgers could be, but he's still got years in him, and you're just gonna have. I mean, I guess if you hold on to this guy for a couple more years,
just let Rodgers develop. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess so. You just have.
But you're putting the time. You're basically putting the timer on.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
But I mean, I guess one thing, it was just a weird pick because you want to give Rodgers weapons because you want to win now. But one thing you can't argue with, the Packers have developed 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Oh yeah,
and
right after each other.
And yeah, and it's Rodgers wasn't picked very high, and he told everyone, I don't know where Rodgers was picked exactly, but I remember there was like a interview with him after, and he said, "I'm gonna make everyone that didn't pick me regret it." So I mean, maybe this guy's next. They got Brett Favre, and then they went to Rodgers, and then maybe Love's next. I mean, who's to say? It's just a weird pick, I think, that early on in the draft when you could get someone that's going to contribute now.
You can get a good offensive lineman. You can get a good receiver. Just anything to really help them out.
Another receiver, man.
I mean, yeah, they need a receiver more than anything.
Can't do it all by himself.
Yeah, I mean, unless they like know they're signing someone. This was such a weird pick.
Well, only time can tell. Speaking of wide receivers, we're jumping into the second round. I definitely want to talk about the first pick in the second round. The Bengals getting T. Higgins. To pair with Joe Burrow now, I like that pick a lot for them. I know that I said the Bengals sucked at the start of this, but I forgot about this pick. It's a good pick.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to get one of the best quarterbacks in this draft, it's always good to get him a nice weapon. And, I mean, in that final game in the national championship, you saw these guys going at each other, and it's kind of crazy to see them playing on the same team now. So, just 2 talented guys. Bengals are making moves. They're not doing bad at all. I mean, I saw people give them at least an A rating for this draft.
Good draft. Great draft.
Yeah, this was the year they needed to do something.
Yeah, for sure.
After a very bad year. What? Only 2 wins? What? And then I want to talk about the next one because Cole's fan here. But I like Michael Pittman out of USC, a wide receiver. I mean, you just got Phillip Rivers, so
you got the gunslinger.
You have the weapon, and some more ammunition never helps. Got T.Y. Hilton, Zachary Pascal, Michael Pittman, just a great little team right there on the offensive side. And then I guess right into the next one, also Jonathan Taylor for the Colts as well at 41.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not a bad
pick.
Running back to have.
He's no J.K. Dobbins, but he's pretty good at football.
He's pretty good with the football. I mean, out of Wisconsin. I mean, unbelievable player. He's, a little fumble prone, but
didn't show up in the Big Ten championship game. I was there and I witnessed it.
What? But yeah, I really like this pick, and I think he can get developed behind Marlon Mack.
I think he can be
very good.
I'm dropping a little bit down in this draft. Another weird quarterback draft. The Eagles taking Jalen Hurts made no sense to me. Like, I understand Carson Wentz always gets injured, but it was just really confusing to me.
Yeah.
Is that them kind of telling Carson Wentz, like, hey, dude, you're not durable enough, so guess what? Here's our mobile quarterback, and, once you inevitably get injured this year, you're probably done? Like, I don't understand the pick.
I just see this as, like, basically if Carson Wentz stays healthy and he performs like how he usually does, which is very good, they just let him play. They keep him. They just have Jalen Hurts to develop, maybe has the trades as said. But, if he does get hurt, yeah, I can definitely see it as, like, okay, we need to just go on with Jalen Hurts and kind of, sorry, Carson Wentz, you just can't stay on the field. Yeah.
Super Bowl like Nick Foles. Ooh.
I mean, yeah, Carson Wentz did lead them there, but it was sad to see.
And the next pick I want to talk about is the pick immediately after this, the biggest steal in the draft. The Ravens get J.K., and this is why this is the biggest steal in the draft. J.K. is the best running back in this draft. And the Ravens only have Mark Ingram, who is old and he's a power back, and the rest of their backs suck. So J.K. will get snaps. J.K. will play and will develop, and he's going to be in a high-caliber Lamar Jackson offense. And I know I'm a Browns fan, and I know we're division rivals, but I love J.K., and I'm excited.
J.K., I watched him the entire year. He's just, I think definitely as us Buckeye fans, we definitely think especially, but I think other people know as well that he probably was the best back in the nation in college.
Sorry, Jonathan Taylor, but there's a reason we beat you twice this season.
Baltimore just got even better. You got
I love J.K.
Great weapon. Lamar Jackson, him, Hollywood Brown. That's just that young 3 duo right there. They're
force to be reckoned with for the future.
They're a big force to be reckoned with, especially in that division, which, like you said, might be tight.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but. That's pretty much most of the big names in the first 2 rounds.
For sure. I mean, if we want to go on this little Buckeye congratulations route, the Baltimore Ravens also got Malik Harrison.
Number 98.
Number 98. You love that. That's another great pick. God, Ravens got some good Buckeyes, man.
Hey, I mean, they're good players. You can't go wrong with that.
You right? I mean, it's just... He's a beast. We watched him all season. I mean, he was, when Chase was getting double teamed, it was like Malik Harrison would just come in and ruin your day.
Like, hey, nope, there's one more.
And I guess one more pick I do want to talk about. We're going to be jumping pretty far from the second and third round. Let me take you on a ride, Jacob Walsh.
Oh, I like this.
We're in the 7th round of the NFL draft.
Oh, no.
With pick 220, I'm the Los Angeles Chargers. I select KJ Hill, someone who should have not fallen to the 7th round. KJ was such a steal, man. He was so fun to watch in college. He's a stud. That Chargers team adds another young receiver to a team that has a young quarterback, and Justin Herbert. I mean, I was at the Buckeye Maryland game a couple years ago, and I watched this man moss 2 people in the same spot of the end zone twice. And from that moment, because I was sitting like 6 rows up in the end zone, and I watched him have 2 incredible touchdowns. And ever since then, I stand this man, and he was such a steal.
There was just a lot of good wide receivers in this draft.
Exactly. I mean, CD, Judy, Rigg, like Henry, like there was a lot of good wide receivers. Since we're getting ready to wrap this pod up, I just wanted to give love to KJ Hill because he's a stud. I just don't see how you could sleep on an Ohio State wide receiver this year when Terry McLaurin just comes out and did what he did last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Buckeyes also known for really good wide receivers as well. Michael Thomas. We talked about this a lot.
Michael Thomas. Ted Ginn Jr. was a stud in his respective time. Still is. Still a speed demon. Curtis Samuels had a great year last year. Not a great year, but for a coming up year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, still, man, off topic. Curtis Samuel might have given me my favorite sports moment. One of my favorite moments in sports history. That touchdown against Michigan in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh, God, we gotta stop. I'll be talking about this all night.
Oh, okay. I wanted to talk about one more.
Go for it.
So basically, not in the draft, but signed after the draft. Do you know the Georgia kicker Rodrigo Blankenship?
Yes.
The guy with the goofy goggles.
Yes.
The Colts signed him, bro.
Oh shoot! I thought you were about to start talking about Thaddeus Moss, bro.
Oh no, I saw he got signed as well, but no, I was talking about Rodrigo Blankenship because the Colts got him, but he's
the walking meme.
I love him, dude. He's so funny. The goggles just make it so much better, but I think he's actually probably was the best kicker.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he kind of choked, but what happened to kickers?
Yeah, he choked. Yeah, he definitely choked. Yeah, but Thaddeus Moss did sign with the Redskins, so that's another. I mean, if you can develop him, another young weapon for Dwayne Haskins. So
you don't be the son of Randy Moss and not be
decent,
a very athletic, good player at least.
Yeah, so that's huge for the Redskins. I mean, all in all, I think it's going to be interesting to see the rest of the undrafted signings that do happen. All the 8th rounders, as Will Lutz said on Twitter. You know, all my fellow 8th rounders, the Saints kicker. I mean, there's a lot of people that have made their names undrafted because the NFL, there's 52 players on a team, so there's even though there is 7 rounds to the draft, there's just not enough rounds. So these 8th rounders, as you want to call them, it's just their time to work through practice squads and kind of, you know.
Yeah, you still get on a team, you still have your opportunity. It's just unfortunately doesn't get to be in the draft.
Yeah, of course.
So, but I think that pretty much sums up the 2020 draft, the virtual draft, by the way.
Draft. Yeah, I was very impressed with how it was.
I like it so much more actually than like the live thing, I think.
Yeah, I loved when you got into the later rounds and instead of sitting there in his suit, Roger was just laid back in a chair.
Lay on his couch, dude, to relax. I love seeing the coach's home. I keep seeing that picture on Twitter of Belichick and his dog.
He just had his dog
sitting there at the computer.
Why was that the most Bill Belichick thing? Why was that the most Bill Belichick thing?
Oh, I love that. That was hilarious to me.
Man. Yeah, but I think with that being said, that is the Goat Shed's 2020 NFL Draft Recap. Make sure to check out the rest of our stuff on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Links are all in the description. Twitter's all in the description. With that being said, Jacob, hit him with the outro.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We will see you again next Sunday. So, Nick, goodbye, guys.